Welcome to Putting the Pieces Together, a video podcast where I monologue on philosophical concepts, thought-provoking quotes, and ramble about general ideas, all while playing a relaxing yet mentally stimulating game of Tetris. Enjoy. On tonight's episode of Putting the Pieces Together, I want to talk about gratitude. To do so, I've gathered 3 different quotes from writers, orators, and philosophers that kind of reflect or resonate with my perspective. To begin, I have a quote from ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus, born 341 BCE, in which he says in his letter to Menoeceus, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only wish for." To begin to dissect that quote, like always, I first kind of want to set terms. The word desire there to me stands out. My belief is that desire is different from just wanting something. I try to make a distinction between the two, in which want can be fleeting, even superficial. While still reoccurring, I believe a desire, a true desire, is ever present in your mind, in your body, in your being, that it occupies your thoughts and your decision-making process, that it affects and influences who you are. A desire can almost act like a need, like desiring water when you're thirsty or desiring food when you're hungry. Furthermore, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. When it comes to desiring or longing for something that you don't have, it's because you want to have it in the future, because it's something separate from you, devoid from you, something new to you, unfamiliar. That newness or that novelty, I feel like, is part of the reason why we often ignore, and I'm grateful for what we already have. Novelty in itself has a strong positive connotation, which can almost make it seem like when it's not there, when the novelty is lacking, it may seem like that item or the experience is lacking. Like the present or what one already has is almost not shiny anymore, and therefore not as enjoyable or as present or as worthy to be appreciated. When you pay so much attention, because like I said, I do believe that's what desiring is. Desiring, it's ever present, it occupies your mind, it demands attention. It takes up a lot of space. So you pay all that attention to what you don't have, it distracts you, can distract you from properly looking at what you do have. I try to think of it as if these were physical objects we could hold, right? Or let's say, for instance, cars. Let's say you have a certain type of car. I don't know why I picked car. I know nothing of car brands. But similar to my football analogy in episode 1, I'll have to make 2. Let's say you have one car, car A. You currently have that car. But in your heart, you feel like you desire car B, a car you don't have, a car you'd want to have one day. If you're on the street, on the parking lot, you get out of your car. Let's take this. You get out of your car in the parking lot, and park next to you, or on the other side of the lot, is someone's car B. You only have one pair of eyes, and your eyes can only look at one place at a time. So by desiring card B, you're looking at card B. I mean, physically, your head is turned in the direction of card B. You cannot physically impossible at the same time look at card A. You only look at one of them. So if we extrapolate that to a more figurative sense, metaphorical sense, when you look, and looking here is desiring, when you look at what you don't have, you cannot look at what you do have. And if you can't look at what you have, you can't give it proper attention and appreciate it truly. Only have so much capacity and so much time for so many things. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only wished for. What you have now was once among the things you only wish for. Your present is made, or rather, your present often contains multiple wishes of your past. The quote-unquote shiny or novel thing you once desired with your entire being, felt like you needed to exist, does not lose any shine or luster, or doesn't lose any worth of your attention or longing what's in your possession. Going back to the car analogy. Back to the car analogy. I've said that word too many times now. Going back to the car metaphor. There was a time in the past when every waking thought, when truly deep down, all you could think about was just having car A. You needed it, you desired it. And now, in the present, you have car A. And there's probably other things in your life right now, in your day, in your moments that a couple days ago, a couple years ago, a couple months ago, doesn't matter. In the past, you wished, you desired for it, and now you have it. And I think what Epicurus is trying to say, and also what I'm trying to say, is that it's important to remember that these things you hold, they're not stale, they're not boring, they're wishes. Wishes you hold in your hands, wishes you exist with on a daily basis. And that's pretty cool. The second quote I selected is by American novelist and essayist Cynthia Ozick, born 1928, and it goes as follows. We often take for granted the very things that most deserve our gratitude. Now, when I first read this quote, and even the second time I read this quote, I had mainly one thought, one thing that kind of resonated with me. It seemed to me like it was pretty much just saying, it's the small things in life that matters. And I'm sure it's saying a sentiment we've all heard before, many of us at least. Who knows? I'm not a sociologist. And I would change that statement a little bit to say it's the small things in life that satisfy us, that bring us joy, that fulfill us, that make us. My perspective on time and how we experience our existence is we experience life in real time, moment to moment. These moments are small pieces of time, not entirely measured. Could be seconds, could be minutes, whatever you would consider a moment. These moments may be good, may be bad, They could be the result of other moments. The capitulation, the word I'm looking for? The totality of a journey of other moments. There's really no metric for this. It's all subjective. No one can tell you what's a good time or a bad time. It's all up to you. But moments nonetheless. And I think it's the repeated and almost seemingly unsubstantial or easily unperceived moments are the ones that truly need to be appreciated, that most deserve our gratitude. These are the moments I like to call the in-betweens. It's the moments in between the moments you remember that you take note of. It's the moment in the car between leaving your house and getting to your destination. It's going from your room to the kitchen. It's in between dialogue and a conversation. When you tell someone a story of a memory or experience you have, the parts that you leave out, that you don't make note of, these are the in-betweens. Human beings only have so much memory and attention, so it's destiny, it's fate, unescapable. We're gonna take something for granted. We're not gonna be able to take note of it all, to appreciate all of it. But we can make an effort to minimize how much slips through the cracks, how many in-betweens move past us without recognition. I try to live life in a way where I can stop and pause and take notice of the in-betweens. Like I said, since the moment in the car, you're headed to a concert or a party or an event of some sort, just a destination you are excited for. Just notice how you feel in the moment. If you're calm, if you're happy, the excitement in your body, the jitteriness, the nerves, maybe some anxiousness, but just everything you're feeling and the fact that you are happy. Because at the end of the day, you might remember that you went to the event and you're happy, grateful you went to the event, had a good time, but you're also happy going to the event. That in itself is a memory, is an experience, is a story worth telling yourself. And definitely worth your gratitude. A benefit to this, I find, is that the more aspects of one's life you can find gratitude for, the more in-betweens you can take notice of, the more moments you can appreciate, the more the fraction of good versus bad starts to change. The more you tip the scales in a positive manner. Because think about it. The more you look for quote-unquote good moments, the more good moments you have. The more good things we can keep note of in our conscious mind, the more good moments that make up our day. And when you add it all up, more good moments make a good day, which makes for more good days, makes for more good weeks, good years, and hopefully, and potentially, maybe optimistically, for a good life. Because like I was saying, in regards to my perspective on time and our experience in its existence, we only live in moments, but that's not how we remember them. That's not how we calculate them, judge them. We add these moments together, we add these memories together into stories. Not only stories we tell others, but stories we tell ourselves. Reflection, introspection is all of our own story. And we don't judge ourselves by those moments. We don't judge our day by those moments. We judge our time, our existence in groups of moments. So it's helpful to give yourself as much positivity as you can. It's almost like finding change in the back of the couch. Everyone loves it. The third quote that I wanted to talk about is from American writer William Arthur Ward, born 1921. It reads, "Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it." Now, at first, this quote seemed pretty straightforward to me. I mostly chose it because of its analogy, or rather, it's not really an analogy, but referring to gratitude as a present. And even thinking about it, it's pretty apt. It's not really that much of a stretch to think of it like that. Relationally, the things we give to others, the way we treat others, these are what connect us to others. Now, on the other side of that, others' reciprocation of our actions and treatment or their response to our behavior connect them to us in the same way. And thinking about it like that, connections spawning from one to another in both directions parallel to each other, you can think of gratitude, or more specifically, the expression of gratitude, as a reinforcement of those connections, as a strengthening of those bonds. And the reason I want to make note of the specificity of the expression of gratitude is because gratitude starts as a feeling. To appreciate something, be grateful for something. It's an eternal feeling, unknown to those around us, unperceived by those around us. Something like a present you have to give to someone, expressed outwardly for them to be aware of it. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. It also reminds me of another common saying, which I feel like has risen in popularity or usage in the past half decade perhaps, but I do like it, is give people their flowers while they're still here. One I would extend to give people their flowers while they're still here to smell them. If you think about gratitude as flowers, right? Going back to even flowers being given to people as a show of affection, but also, in competitions of old, a winner would be giving a laurel wreath upon his head, flowers. It's a reward of behavior, action, etc., etc. So you think about if you bought flowers for somebody, those flowers aren't for you. They aren't reward for you. They're for the person you mean to give them to. They're for them to smell and experience and to smile and derive joy from. They're for them to put in a vase in their house on a table. And every time they walk by it, they can feel the admiration and appreciation and affection that you give to them. And they also feel the gift they gave to you. And they're reinforced in their behavior to do so. It's important to let people know they're doing the right thing, or at least a good thing. It's always hard for one to judge their own actions and to know, am I doing the right thing? These anxieties exist in all of us, most of us, who knows, I'm not a sociologist, a psychologist. So gratitude is a useful reminder or metric, or even just an easy answer to tell the person so they don't have to guess. If they gave you a ride to somewhere, they gave you a gift, they cook some food for you, and I thank you, or I appreciate that, or I'm really glad you did that, or just some expression of that, let them know it was a good thing I did that. They liked what I did, and they'll probably do it again. Which will be great for you, because now you get some good food. So it's really a two-way street. And the bright side of that, or at least another positive benefit of that, which I personally in recent times have found to be a most exciting perspective, is that gratitude is a feeling. And that we already knew. But because it is a feeling, feelings are not something that we make intentionally or consciously. Feelings are internal, innate, reactive to a stimulus. We experience, and our bodies, our minds, our beings produces these feelings. So because we produce these feelings and we can produce them over and over again, there is no scarcity to this gift. We don't have to ration or conserve the materials or supplies for it. We don't have to consider how much we make and how fast we make them. We simply have them at our ready to do with as we see fit. The most amount of effort we have to put in intentionally is recognizing and appreciating and being aware of these feelings. But once we do that, we can give the gift of gratitude frequently and freely, with no concern of cost or risk. And wrap back around to the quote by Mr. William Arthur Ward. Clean names, gotta love them. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. I remember when I was a kid, a couple years on Christmas time, I would think, I wonder if Santa has fun giving gifts. He's always shown laughing and jolly. Seems like having a good time. And I can admit, as I'm sure you can as well, there's a certain glee, you can even say a selfish joy or gratification of giving someone a gift and seeing them open it and be happy or almost brought to tears or just emotive. So imagine wrapping a present and denying yourself that pleasure of giving it to that person. Of course, you deny them it as well, but we only live our own life. So if you're thinking from our own personal perspective, not only do you deprive them of the assurance of their behavior or of their reward and the pleasure of receiving it, you deny yourself too. And both parties denied, well, that's just a waste, isn't it? And now in practice, it's a little not as easy or as convenient as it sounds when you talk about it on a podcast of your own creation. But I do find the effort put into giving such a gift, it is truly rewarding. And I like to do it, in a somewhat basic, banal manner. But when gratitude is felt, or I recognize that I'm happy for something, I'm grateful for something, especially something directly made or caused by another I'm with at the time, I simply say what I'm thinking. If someone cooks me a piece of food and I think, I'm glad they made that food for me, I'm hungry, I'm glad they made that food for me, it tastes great. Or even I just think, I'm glad they made that food for me, then I simply open my mouth and say those very words. And at least my own experience is no one's ever had the reaction of, oh, it's uncreative or it's not enough. They've always appreciated, received gratitude of their own, or my own rather, for my gratitude, becoming a feedback loop of positivity and happiness. Man, there's worse loops out there. And as I fear I do at the end of every one of these episodes, not intentionally, but this one I guess it is, I'm cornered to think about the gratitude I hold for this own project. For you listening to this episode, and perhaps even the other ones, and for taking the time to do so, and for hearing me out. I hope that I can provide something for you through these, because I have provided something through making them. And this podcast in itself is a gift I hope to give to you. So as always, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Putting the Pieces Together.